Tonight, the Chicago Bulls and the New York Knicks will meet in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals Series. Game 2 of the best of 7, a capacity crowd better than 19,000 at Madison Square Garden for what many feel will be remembered as a classic series. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert, along with John Andres. And John, you look back to Game 1 on Sunday, and the one stat that really haunts the Bulls was the lack of work off the boards. The Knicks out-rebounded the Bulls. They dominated the Bulls in the rebounding department to the tune of 48-28.
The Bulls come in as a fierce rebounding team. In fact, best in the league in defensive rebounding, and they were severely hurt in that department, Marv. And it was not only the big men of the Knicks, but it was people like John Starks who did a big job for the Knicks on the boards. Of course, Charles Smith and Charles Oakley did a big job also after a Ewing miss at one point in the game. But Starks was forever around the boards himself, even fighting Ewing at one point and coming up with the ball. And then off a Doc Rivers drive, Charles Oakley was there to finish it up as usual, so tough on the offensive boards. For the totals of the game, as you mentioned, Marv, it was 48-28 in favor of the Knicks, but the offensive rebounding is what really hurt Chicago, an area that they usually excel in, and they were out-rebounded 15-10 by the Knicks in that department. That's got to change for the Bulls.
And a side issue to the series, the psyche of Scottie Pippen coming off the poor playoff performance against the Knicks a year ago, but Scottie Pippen came out in very aggressive fashion in Game 1.
Yes, he wanted to announce to the Knicks and the rest of the viewing world that he wasn't going to be pushed around in that game the other day. He got into a scuffle with Charles Oakley under the basket at one point, gave a little bit out to Charles. Charles came up strong and stood up to Pippen, who also stood up strong. But later in the game, in what Phil Jackson thought was the key play of the game, Rivers was killed, knocked over by Pippen. Jackson thought it was no foul. It was a foul, but not a flagrant, which was what the Knicks wanted. And then a little follow-up to that play was Charles Smith rushing up against Pippen, which led to some glaring. Pippen is not an explosive type personality, so nothing happened off that play. And later on in the game, Scottie Pippen showed that the three-point shot was not going to be exempt from his game, and he had one that night. 24 points was okay, Marv, but the rebounding and assists were half of his season total, and the turnovers were double his normal season total. They have to change.
And Scottie says he won't allow the Knicks' tactics to affect him during the course of this series.
The team can't intimidate me. I've been through a very tough series for a couple years with the Pistons, and you know they pretty much taught me a lot going through that. So I think you know it's more that I can teach him than what he can do to me.
And I thought Scottie Pippen came out strong on Sunday in game number 1. All right, when we come back, Michael Jordan will look to turn it from his performance in game 1 on Sunday, while John Starks hopes to continue his excellent play. Back at the Garden, we're set for the introduction of the Hertz starting lineups. Let's pick up the announcement on the Chicago Bulls.
At forward, at 6'7" from Central Arkansas, number 33, Scottie Pippen. At forward, at 6'10" from Clemson, number 54, Horace Grant. And at center, at 7'1" from San Francisco, number 24, Bill Cartwright. The trainer is Chip Schaefer. Assistant coaches John Bott, Jim Clemens, and Tex Winter. And the head coach, Phil Jackson.
Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go! Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
And now, please welcome the Atlantic Division champions, your New York Knicks. At guard at 6'5" from Oklahoma State, number 3, John Starks. At guard at 6'4" from Marquette, number 25, Doc Rivers. At forward at 6'10" from the University of Pittsburgh, number 54, Charles Smith. At forward at 6'9" from Virginia Union, number 34, co-captain Charles Oakley. And at center at 7 feet from Georgetown, number 33, co-captain Patrick Ewing. The head trainer is Mike Saunders, the assistant trainer Jim Walsh. Assistant coaches are Dick Carter and Jim Van Gundy. Head coach for the Knicks, the 92-93 NBA Coach of the Year, Pat Riley.
Well, Pat Riley said at practice yesterday he's certainly concerned that Michael Jordan will take his Game 1 performance personally, and the media critiques will also fuel him for tonight. We talked about that with Pat.
We're going to come and play our game the way we played it all year long. Michael's a great player, and I'm sure he will come hard to try to make up for how he has been perceived in the press the last couple of days. And, you know, we're going to gear up to try to hold the Chicago Bulls down, you know, in an area where we can win the game. And if he comes and gets 50 and we win, we could care less. So I don't know what his game plan is personally, but I know that he'll probably come and work harder at taking the ball to the bucket.
It seems that Michael always wants to let his teammates into the game before he cooks, as he did the other day. Marv, it would seem to me that Michael will not want to be as patient with his teammates tonight. I would look for him to go early and go strong in the offensive end of things.
Michael also admitted that he was a bit too hyper for the game on Sunday. Let's see how he reacts at the start. Joe Crawford, Bill Oates, Stan Crawford, the officials. Tonight's overhead camera shot brought to you by the Upper Deck Company. Nobody does basketball like Upper Deck. And the New York Knicks control the opening tip. Doc Rivers met on the switch momentarily and gets it over to John Starks. Charles Smith getting position, facing the double team. And it's an open shot for Patrick Ewing. Loose ball foul is called against the Knicks. A push assessed to Charles Smith.
One of these statistics that I think the press failed to harp on, Marv, was that the Knicks shot in the first game 55% and the Bulls 43. The Knicks want to certainly duplicate that high shooting percentage again if they can.
Bill Cartwright working down low. The Bulls want Cartwright to get into it early. He was not able to get into it at all on Sunday.
That is one of the predictable patterns of the Bulls. They'll go to Cartwright early to do just that.
And as we look down the road with the Knicks having the decisive advantage off the boards on Sunday, we can look for a bit more of Scott Williams as Oakley buries the jumper to tie the game at 2. There is the feeling that Scottie Pippen will move to the backcourt and Scott Williams will come on to bang. Here's Grant working inside. And Starks hustles it down. Ewing going right at Cartwright, and it's tipped home. The Knicks 4, and the Bulls 2. Ewing able to tip it home.
A most unusual effort type tip in by Ewing.
The chant of defense. Pippen played tightly by Smith.
This is what you expect. Jordan to use his superior height and strength over Starks as much as he can. So he goes low and posts up John successfully.
So the game is tied at 4 as Michael Jordan is able to hit on his first field goal attempt. Starks for 3. Rebound Ewing off the fake. Knicks 6. The Bulls 4.
Ewing's instincts are so wise early by taking the ball to the rim and not backing away.
Patrick Ewing got off to the good start the other day. Here is Jordan. Rebound, back tap, Jordan around Ewing, and he is fouled. Foul committed by Charles Oakley.
So right away, we see Jordan involved almost every time at the offensive end for the Bulls. He is not going to wait for the game to come to him. He's going to try in his Jordan-like way to take control of this game from the outset.
And as announced earlier, Charles Barkley winning Most Valuable Player honors. Hakeem Olajuwon second, Michael Jordan third, and Patrick Ewing was a distant fourth in the battle. They double up on Rivers, so pressure right at the start. The ball was knocked out of bounds by Armstrong. One of the main concerns of the Knicks coaching staff, the 24 turnovers committed on Sunday, their highest total of the playoffs, with 13 of those turnovers, as Pat Riley said, unforced. Smith gets inside, and Jordan with the rebound. The game is tied at 6. Jordan fires down, but Pippen could not hold on.
Pass was delivered perfectly to Pippen.
Let's see how the Bulls played in terms of pressure. They will throw it on and off. They use the element of surprise when they go with the trap. Rivers for three. Yes. Doc Rivers surprised Michael Jordan.
Doc Rivers, with his veteran status, was not intimidated by Michael.
That will count. It's a goaltend off a beautiful move by Jordan.
Well, it's the sense of here he comes again. Michael, in his unique way, finding a way to the basket again.
The Knicks 9, the Bulls 8. Wild pass. Rivers thought he had Smith, but the pass off the mark, and the Bulls will get it back.
You know that whoever Jordan is guarding, in this case Rivers, at this particular moment has a job to keep him busy. So Rivers wants to do a lot on the offensive end to try and wear out Jordan if he can.
A.J. Armstrong had a good one on Sunday. Horace Grant coming back from the sprained ankle. Jordan was pushed, and he'll go to the line. Foul committed by John Starks. That is his first.
Marv, what we are seeing here right now in the opening 4 minutes of this game is the play of Michael Jordan and the Bulls. I mean, he is the offense so far.
And he's tied the game at 9. Well, Phil Jackson on many an occasion has said he would prefer if the scoring is distributed, because he feels over the long haul it is not good for the ball club if Jordan does too much scoring. But in this particular situation, with the Bulls trying to tie the series at 1, foul called. Crawford indicating the foul, a hold on Grant. In this situation, not that it's desperation time, it's only game 2 of the best of 7, but the Bulls would certainly feel better going back to Chicago with the series even at 1. Here's Smith taking the pass from Oakley and laying it in, and the Knicks lead by 1. Perhaps Phil Jackson does not mind that Michael Jordan will dominate.
Yes, Phil prefers winning, that's for sure. And Michael is the one single player in this league who can kind of do it by himself.
Oh, what a tip by Pippen. Scottie Pippen slamming it home to give the Bulls a 12-11 lead.
Against this on-again, off-again pressure that the Bulls are presenting to the Knicks after the Bulls score, the Knicks are giving different looks. Here's another look at that Pippen follow. Kind of made that look rather incidental. He was up so high. But the Knicks are having 4 different people now bring the ball up court.
4 minutes gone by in the first quarter. Charles Smith had the strong game on Sunday, putting the moves on Horace Grant, getting it out to Charles Oakley. And it's Smith able to chase it down. Starks with the duck under move, feeds Oakley, and he's fouled. Scottie Pippen called for his first.
Well, the move was initiated by Starks faking out Jordan, getting around him, and then doing what he's learned to do in his continuing involvement as a player in the NBA, and that is to give the ball up after he has the full thrust to the basket. He doesn't necessarily have to force the shot, and he gave it up to Oakley at the end of the move.
Charles Oakley on the line for the first time. Charles has come on strong in the playoffs, averaging just under 12 points per game as opposed to his regular season average, just under 7, increasing the rebounds, and he's received more playing time, averaging 34.5 minutes per game on Sunday. And in game 1, Charles did not do it offensively, only 2 out of 5 from the field, but he had 14 rebounds. The game is tied at 12. Oakley steps out against Armstrong. Crowd wanted to travel on Grant. Jordan for 3. Yes! Michael Jordan from downtown. The Bulls 15 and the Knicks 12. And Jordan has 11 of the Bulls' 15 points. 5 minutes gone by. Oakley hit. Fouled by Grant. That's 2 on Horace Grant.
Well, Horace let Oakley get in front of him. Oakley was right under the basket. That's the biggest sin of all that he created.
And we will see Scott Williams in just a moment. We'll check in replacing Grant. Nice pass. Ewing for Smith.
That's the advantage that Charles Smith enjoys over Scottie Pippen. 3+ inches in height, and he made the most of it.
The Bulls by 1. The call away from the ball. It's on Smith, reaching it up high. Timeout has been taken. That's number 2 on Smith. Michael Jordan opening up fast. He's hit 3 out of 4, 11 points in all. We'll be right back. Well, in game 1 on Sunday, we saw some of Doc Rivers' theatrical skills, a play of contention back in game 1 when Doc Rivers was fouled by Scottie Pippen. The Knicks thought it should be a flagrant foul. In fact, Doc took that hard fall, and here is his explanation.
You know how to act a little bit also. We were struggling emotionally at that time. Scottie Pippen's hit me hard. First of all, you lay down to try to draw a flagrant foul. If you lay down there long enough, the ref might feel bad and say, oh, that has to be a flagrant. The guy's dying out there. But it didn't work. So then I got up and I jumped up, you know, for the crowd to get the crowd into the game. And that worked sometimes.
Yes, a fine effort by Doc. You just saw Cartwright call for the travel. So the Knicks take possession. They're down 15-14, 6:20 remaining in this first quarter. Anthony Mason has come on for the first time, and Patrick Ewing hits from long range. The Knicks with a 16-15 lead. Ewing has 6 points. The matchup is Mason and Pippen. Scott Williams has come on for Horace Grant, who had picked up his 2nd foul. Here's Pippen off the weave, fouled by Ewing. Scottie Pippen will go to the line. The Knicks are now over the foul limit. The Bulls have 3 team fouls.
Well, Michael Jordan having a very big first quarter, Marv, brings back the memory of last year, game 2 playoff game against the Knicks in Chicago. Michael had 15 consecutive points in the first quarter of that game, which established a Bulls team record. Here tonight, he's trying to duplicate that effort. Knicks got them first last year and surprised them as they did this year, so Michael's trying to recreate history once again.
Scottie Pippen only a 66% free throw shooter. Hits 1 out of 2 to tie the game at 16. Light pressure shown by the Bulls. Starks gives it back up. Ewing off the spin. Yes. The Knicks 18, the Bulls 16. Jordan with lots of room. Rebounded by Pippen.
3-point shots bring long rebounds. Fortunately for the Bulls, it went into the right hands.
Jordan with the step. Michael Jordan thought he was fouled. On the other side of the picture, Patrick Ewing thought that he was hit with a charging move by Jordan. So Michael with 13, and the game is tied at 18.
Michael's known for his grace, but that was some power move.
Oakley, that was deflected short. Rivers got to it and drew the foul. Foul committed by Bill Cartwright. No, they say Michael Jordan. So that is the first on Jordan.
The Bulls' last basket featuring Michael Jordan getting around Rivers. Ewing coming into play. Nothing stopped Jordan on that play, including the presence of Anthony Mason.
Doc Rivers, 82% free throw shooter. Doc Rivers did not have a good first half in game one. Greg Anthony came on and played well in a short stint, and then Doc gave the club a lift in the second half.
As Doc was sent to the bench with a couple of early turnovers, he wasn't handling the Bulls' pressure well, but he certainly answered back in the second half.
Jordan on a pull-up. Rebound swept by Mason. 4.5 remaining in this first quarter. Rivers sliced through, setting up Ewing. Oakley with the rebound. And his pass broken up by Jordan. Beautiful play by Michael Jordan as it kicked off the leg of Charles Oakley.
Spike Lee got in the way of Jordan coming up court. Spike, of course, did many commercials with Michael, but Spike's a known Knicks fan, so Michael fouled him off.
Scott Williams with it. Williams up front now with Cartwright and Pippen. Shot clock at 4. Jordan. And Starks gets to it. John Starks going back to the severe hand-checking style so successful on Sunday. Mason. The Knicks 22, the Bulls 18.
Scott Williams has better come to life and have a presence under those boards. Phil Jackson can't be happy.
Phil Jackson will talk it over. Well, Jerry Seinfeld on hand at courtside along with, well, they're regulars, right? Maury and Connie. That's Rob Reiner next to Connie Chung. The Czech celebrity row. Reggie Jackson on hand. Reggie receiving mixed reaction as his face appears on Garden Vision. Boomer Esiason of the New York Jets. Red Holzman, Selma Holzman, the real celebrity in the family. And Dave DeBuscher and his wife Jerry. That's our first check around the celebrity areas here at the Garden tonight.
Not bad for a beginning.
The Knicks playing well here at the start. 3:30 remaining in this first quarter. The Knicks have hit 9 of 16 from the field. They lead 22-18. The Bulls 6 of 12. Jordan 4 of 8. Jordan with 13 of the Bulls' 18 points. Scottie Pippen cuts it to a 2-point Knick lead.
Well, the Knicks want to contest every shot by the Bulls. That was the part reason for them holding them to 43% the other day. Pippen had no hand in his face on that one.
Knicks staying with Starks and Rivers at the guard. Mason, Ewing, and Oakley up front. Mason gets inside, and he was hit by Scott Williams. Nice fake by Anthony Mason.
Scott Williams at 6'10". Didn't do much on that play, but Pippen can't deal with the strength of Mason. Takes a shot at it. Mason recovers with his strong hands and draws the foul. Williams came in late and didn't add much.
A superb performance by Anthony Mason on Sunday. 29 minutes, 5 of 6, 13 points. Did the job off the boards. Anthony Mason, the number 3 man in playoff field goal percentage, just under 60% from the field.
Actually, Anthony only had 2 rebounds the other day, Marv, but he has found now, as a more complete player, ways to always be valuable when he's on the floor. The numbers are very deceptive with his impact.
I was going to make that point. I said he did the job off the boards, but he kept the ball alive. Also able to box out to help other members of the team, and that often does not show up in the stat column. Nice move by Scott Williams, and the Knicks now lead by 1.
Scott Williams is a very key man for this Chicago team. People in New York don't know that much about him, but ask the coaching staff of the Bulls, and they say he's a key to this game for us in many ways.
Oakley, that time able to box out Scott Williams.
The reason for that impact that Williams has is he must be physical and add a presence to the boards. Cartwright will not last that long in the game. They need consistent physical play.
And Williams drew the foul. That's the second committed by Ewing. Scott Williams, very active player, also noted to be a quick jumper and can go up a second and third time.
Nice look to Williams inside, who gets rid of Patrick Ewing with that fake.
Scott Williams, a 71% free throw shooter. One time, Nick Trent Tucker getting set. Whoa! He will take it. Trent played only 9 minutes on Sunday. He will check in, as does Herb Williams. Herb replacing Patrick Ewing. And here's Will Perdue coming on for Bill Cartwright. Will Perdue played only 3 minutes the other day.
I asked John Bach, the assistant coach of the Bulls, about Perdue as to why he didn't have more time. He said he jumped all over Perdue. About 3 or 4 things he did wrong on defense for the Bulls against the Knicks. I said, he's only in there 3 minutes. He said, but he did 3 or 4 things that sent him to the bench for the rest of the day. I mean, they watch those game tapes, and they make severe judgments, boy.
I don't think it was a pleasant tape session for Will yesterday at practice. Rivers working hard and finishes it off. P.J. Armstrong couldn't believe it. Knicks 27, the Bulls 23. Michael Jordan now sitting down. So Tucker and Armstrong in the backcourt. Here's Williams getting inside. Good look by Scottie Pippen.
Pippen led this team in assists this season. That's what he didn't have going the other day. He only had 4, but he averages 8 during the regular season. And now, getting the ball, drawing attention, he has the great ability to look and find open people with his jumping ability. He literally jumps over the defenders and finds open people.
Armstrong called for the foul, and Rivers to the line with both clubs now over the foul limit. Doc is 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Minute 32 to go in this first quarter. Game 2 of the best of 7. The series will pick up in Chicago next Saturday afternoon. That'll be game 3. Game number 4 in Chicago next Monday afternoon.
The coaching staff has to be happy. Thus far, the Knicks only with 2 turnovers. They had 9 in the first quarter the other day.
Knicks with a 2-point lead. Tucker being played now by Rolando Blackman, who just checked in. And a technical foul has been called on Phil Jackson. Phil was unhappy about what he felt were some non-calls, and he's been working Bill Oakes pretty good, and Oakes called the technical.
Yes, Phil made a very clear one-on-one move against the official and had to draw that technical with his outward display.
And the Knicks now suffering at the line. Rivers missed a couple, and Blackman not able to hit the technical. Here's Greg Anthony for Doc Rivers. Doc leads with 7 points.
The only problem when you draw a technical like that early in the game, in a game of this magnitude and drama, it doesn't give Phil much room the rest of the way to explode. There's 2 and you're out of the game.
Pippen not able to hit, and the Bulls felt it should have been a goaltend on Herb Williams. Remember, Phil was ejected from a playoff game last year here at Madison Square Garden. Mason.
Now that's perfect rebounding. When the ball comes off the boards and hits the floor, that means no Knicks were allowed inside.
Knicks have a 2-point lead. 40 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Armstrong played tightly by Anthony. Shot clock at 6. Tucker. Armstrong. Shot clock at 1. And it is a 24-second violation.
Both teams shooting the ball well. The Bulls at 56%, the Knicks at 55%.
25 seconds to go in the quarter. 2-second differential with the shot clock. Six on the 24. And a 3-second violation against the Knicks. So the Bulls get it back with 5 1/10 seconds remaining in the quarter. Michael Jordan and John Paxson will come on. John Paxson had a rough game on Sunday. He's had an injury-hit year. Played 20 minutes in game 1. Attempted only 1 shot, did not hit it. And had his difficulty when he was matched against John Starks. So the Bulls want the long-range shooters in. Final seconds of the quarter. Here's Jordan putting the move on Mason. Not able to hit from 3-point range. Good job by Mason, who blocked the vision of Michael Jordan. After 1, it's the Knicks 27, the Bulls 25.
Welcome back to the Garden. I'm with the pride of Massapequa, Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry, I would imagine that how you got these tickets in the front row would make for a pretty good episode.
Actually, what happened, Al, is I didn't have tickets tonight, and I gave the usher $10. I said, are these going to be good seats? He said, yeah. And look at where he puts me.
It's an unbelievable story. And you know what's remarkable? You called the Garden and said, I'm not taking those front row seats unless I get to do live from the play-by-play.
That's right. That's the deal, and I'll be there. But you have got to shave before we do it.
I have shaved. It's just, you know, I've been busy today.
This is a big game, Al.
It is that, isn't it? Jerry, thanks a lot.
Okay, thanks.
Right, Marv, back to you. We'll see him on live from the play-by-play later.
All right, Al, Jerry Seinfeld among those at courtside. Think of it, $10 for that seat. How did he do it?
You think he was kidding, Marv?
Second quarter underway. The Knicks 27 and the Bulls 25. Tucker off the good ball movement. So Trent hits the 3-pointer. And the Bulls lead by 1.
Trent got good support from the 6 suits on the Chicago bench. That's what coaching has become today. Lots of suits on the bench. They're beating the Knicks in that department. The Knicks don't have 6 suits on their bench.
It is a very crowded bench. A couple of injured players, though, adding to that. Here's Anthony Mason getting inside. So the Knicks with a 29-28 lead. Horace Grant is back up front with Will Perdue. Tucker off the dribble, putting the move on, and is fouled by Williams.
Well, he picked up Herb in that move to the basket and then continued on and feeling he could beat Herb. Trent has never had the good follow, or finish rather, at the end of a move to the basket. But fortunately for him, he was at least able to draw some contact. He doesn't have that takeoff in that last step up to the rim.
Trent Tucker rarely goes to the free throw line during the regular season. 18 for 22.
That's one outstanding aspect of his career. Not a positive part of his game either, Marv. We can recall over the years that Trent spent here in New York, he rarely drew fouls. And how about a guy who's such a terrific shooter going to the line and missing 2 like that?
So the Knicks maintain the 1-point lead. Anthony beating Paxson, and the foul. Greg Anthony whipped by John Paxson, and that could lead to a move. John Paxson defensively has been struggling.
Well, this is something that if you're in any level of basketball, you never want to happen. And when the world is watching in an NBA playoff game, John Paxson has to be unhappy about that.
That foul called on Grant, who was trying to help out. That's 3 on Horace Grant.
This puts more pressure on Paxson to contribute shooting. He may force a shot or 2 now so he can stay on the floor.
Scottie Pippen. Yes, Scottie Pippen with the outside touch. And the Knicks now lead by 2. They Again, the matchup, Anthony and Paxson. John Paxson has made it back from surgery on his left knee. Played only 59 games during the regular season. And Blackman is called for a traveling violation.
John Paxson had 2 surgeries in the summer on his leg and 1 earlier this season. So that's 3 operations in less than a year.
Grant will sit down. Scott Williams is back. Michael Jordan getting a rest. Jordan opened up at a blistering pace offensively. 13 points for Jordan. Blackman deflects it out.
Knicks love deflections. It stops the offense. Now Chicago's got to generate. Start it again.
And with Michael Jordan on the bench, it is Scottie Pippen who is running the team. Purdue. Anthony and Blackman now in the backcourt. Williams up front with Oakley and Mason. Mason lost it, stripped by Pippen. Defense in all-league area for Scottie Pippen. He's one of the best in the league at defense. Quick hands. The Knicks with a 32-30 lead. Both clubs have gone cold here at the start of the second quarter. That time Pippen was on target, and he's tying the game at 32. Could he be more in the groove? He's moving so gracefully and smoothly. It really seems to be in his game now. Anthony Mason's not happy about something. He's chattering to the officials. And a tripping foul called on the Bulls. Purdue picks up his first. Timeout taken by the Knicks. We'll be back in a moment.
New episode in our AT&T long-distance shooting exhibition. Trent Tucker, member of the Bulls now, hurt the Bulls over the years as a member of the Knicks.
Knicks again will look for the quick shot, then a quick foul. Tucker from 3. Yes! And the foul! Unbelievable! Greg Hodges committing a foul.
This is virtually impossible now. Clock will start when someone touches the ball. 1/10 of a second. Touch it and get it up. Jackson being looking for Ewing. Tucker launches it. It's good! It's good! Yes, it is possible to shoot with 1/10 of a second left.
Yes, virtually impossible, John.
I was right.
Yes. And it led to the noted rule change as Trent Tucker demonstrated part of his NBA highlight film as a member of the Knicks, doing it against his present team, the Chicago Bulls. Tripping foul was called on Purdue. Now Charles Smith checks back in. Second committed by Purdue. Here comes Stacey King for the first time. The Knicks now with Ewing, Smith, and Mason on the front line. Blackman and Anthony in the backcourt. Michael Jordan is back, replacing Trent Tucker. So it's King up front, along with Williams and Pippen. Paxson and Jordan in the backcourt. 3 minutes gone by in the second, and the game tied at 32. Ewing putting moves on. Rebounded by Jordan.
Rolando draws the short straw now on Jordan.
John Starks getting set to check back in. A nice fake by Pippen. He had Smith off his feet.
Well, Jordan started it. Now Pippen has picked it up for the Bulls. They are the offense. They are the superstars of this team, and they're answering the call so far.
Bulls lead 34-32. Scottie Pippen is at 3 of 4 here in the second quarter. Anthony lets it fly. Rebounded by Mason. Good fake. Rebound Smith. Oh, the Knicks very upset. Pat Riley screaming in the ear of Bill Oakes. Wanted a foul on that rebound battle. Now Greg Anthony arguing with Joe Crawford, but it will be Chicago ball. Here comes John Starks, replacing Rolando Blackman.
Long shot by Anthony. Smith and Mason in there tough. Mason can't make it go down. Smith in with a nice tough follow. Can't get that one to go down either. Ball hits the floor. Ball goes to the Bulls.
Jordan with the post up. He was a little further out than he thought. Good job by Starks.
Lots of pressure. Contesting that shot is what the Knicks want to continue to do.
Starks for Smith. Beautiful setup by John Starks. And the game is tied at 34. Once again, no evidence of a chatter between Jordan and Starks. What a move by Michael Jordan, slicing his way, and he drew the foul. Mason picks it up.
Superstar gear sets in now. Jordan sailing around Starks. Ewing says hello. Nobody stops him. Jordan right up to the rim. Beautifully done.
Jordan had missed his previous 4 shot attempts. 3-point play has given the Bulls a 37-34 lead. Here's some pressure now. Paxson hanging back with Anthony. Now they look to trap him.
Trap has not been a factor thus far for the Bulls against the Knicks.
Joe Crawford with the whistle indicating the call away from the ball on Stacey King. The Bulls in the midst of a 9-2 run to take a 3-point lead. Chicago with its 4th team foul. The Knicks with only 2. They double up on Anthony. Starks had it knocked away by Paxson. And here comes Pippen giving it up. Michael Jordan. Oh, Jordan with some words for Greg Anthony. Now, it is certainly known that Michael Jordan is not a great fan of Greg Anthony's. That goes back to Anthony getting in the scrap last year as a rookie with Michael Jordan. The game in Chicago. We'll be right back. John, Michael Jordan has made it clear on a number of occasions that he does not like the playing personality of Greg Anthony. And this goes back to an episode, December 13th, 1991. Game in Chicago, Greg Anthony's rookie season. Here's the play where Jordan did not appreciate the hard foul by Anthony, threw the ball at Anthony, and that leads us to what took place here just a moment ago, with Jordan able to stuff it home and then had some words for Greg Anthony.
Well, the unselfish play of Scottie Pippen giving that ball to Jordan for the dunk, and Jordan finishes with a little verbal response also to Greg. I think if Greg hadn't stepped up to Michael after he socked him, that might have had a different effect, but he just stepped right in and wanted to continue after clocking the league's #1 superstar.
But Jordan will use this to get himself further motivated. I don't know if there's any real reason to go at Greg Anthony in this instance. Rodney McRae has checked in for the first time. Starks with the steal. He stripped Jordan from behind. And Starks with the setup for Mason. Now over to Smith. 6 minutes to go in this first half. Jordan able to return the favor.
Well, the way Jordan handled the disappointing play of the Bulls and himself the other day was so gracious. It deflected from the fact is, and Michael has a lot of pressure on him. And he is playing his best tonight. And you know, mentally, he's human. He's coming into this one wanting to give the Knicks the best of Michael Jordan. And so far, there are certainly signs of that. He's very competitive. No one is more competitive than this guy. He turned the pages back on that incident, I would think, with Greg Anthony.
And the pressure on Jordan related to the fact that the last 4 or 5 meetings against the Knicks in particular here at the Garden, he has not shot well. Now there have been some injuries involved also. Rivers for 3. Doc Rivers knocks down the 3-pointer. He has 10. The Bulls lead it 39-37. Rodney McRae, in his first year as a member of the Bulls, has had a very disappointing season. He's on the floor for the first time. Did not play at all on Sunday.
I've got to believe we're going to see B.J. Armstrong soon. Paxson isn't adding much for the Bulls.
Right, he's got to hit the jump shot because he hurts them defensively at this point. Starks is now 0 for 3. So John Starks off with a slow start. And Starks again has played Jordan well. Bulls 39, the Knicks 37. Here's Scott Williams. changed his mind, went to the fadeaway. Rebounded by Smith. Oh, Smith putting the elbow to the chin of Williams, who did not like it.
It appeared unnecessary.
Charles Smith, who took that shot at Scottie Pippen the other day that was not appreciated. And a foul is called. It's called on Stacey King.
Charles Oakley, very unhappy, flashed that ball to official Danny Crawford. Here's Smith after that rebound a moment ago, trying to free himself. Gave a little extra elbow in the direction of Williams.
A.J. Armstrong, as you mentioned, getting set to come on along with Bill Cartwright and Scottie Pippen. Patrick Ewing making his first appearance on the line, now has 9 points. Wholesale substituting by Phil Jackson. McCray with a cameo departs along with King.
This appears, Marv, to be the best lineup, as we were talking earlier, that the Bulls can put out in the court now. And again, it points to Williams and Cartwright combining with Pippen up front, although Pippen's bringing the ball up court now, showing his versatility.
Best lineup because of the fact that Horace Grant is still not recovered from that sprained ankle, and he's sitting down now after picking up his 3rd foul. Here's Jordan getting inside and rejected by Ewing.
Such a big play by Ewing. Not only for that, but for future plays as well.
Cartwright with the rebound.
It tells the Bulls that he's around.
Just under 4 minutes to go in the first half. Game tied at 39. Again, Jordan will try to post up, feeling for Starks. And he's stopped by Starks. Oh, Michael Jordan now having his difficulties. Starks behind the back, looks to finish it off. Rebound Pippen, and he's held by Smith. You know John Starks in a one-on-one situation wanted to show that he could do it at both ends.
Well, Marv, it's good that the shot didn't go in, because had it gone in, the roof would have blown off Madison Square Garden. There's Michael feeling his way in, trying to get around Starks, and at the end of that move, Starks was right on him, contesting that shot. The move before that, Michael got by Starks, but there was Patrick Ewing, the essence of team defense and response by the big man.
.3:15 remaining first half. And a foul called on Blackman. Just came back in. The Knicks with their 4th team foul. So the Bulls get a new 24. It's been close throughout. A good shooting first quarter. The Knicks led 27-25. Not a good shooting second quarter. The game is tied at 39. Pippen is being guarded by Ewing. Well, he thought he had a teammate in the right-hand corner.
This reminds me of the statement Phil Jackson said to his team yesterday in practice as we look at 39-all with 3 minutes left in the half. Phil, trying to focus his team on offensive output, said, hey, fellas, first team to 100 tomorrow will win the game. We need more points.
Here's Blackman. And a loose ball foul is called. Now, I'm only guessing, John, but you wonder, was John Starks lifted by Pat Riley for taking that shot, for trying to show up Jordan, perhaps getting a little carried away?
Game tied now. A little dramatic move here, possibly dramatic. John Starks being pulled moments ago. He played defense on Jordan quite well. Jordan trying to back him and overpower him. He didn't succeed. Starks made a terrific play. Then he takes it down the other end. John goes off by himself, it appears now a bit. Dribbling the ball, not looking for teammates, and takes that shot with 15 left on the 24-second clock. Perhaps Pat Riley felt that John Starks forgot about the team play that he preached all season and that John became such an important part of. John not happy, though. He's sitting there with a bit of a frown.
Earlier this season, on several occasions, we have seen Pat Riley pull both John Starks and Greg Anthony when he felt they were not looking to give the ball up.
Marv, no matter how well other players play for the Knicks, and everybody in the game the other day, all of the 8 players played well, it just seems to me that when Doc Rivers isn't on the floor, this team isn't moving as well as it can be and does. He is really, to me, at the peak of his NBA professional career these days and just performing so well.
Rivers on the floor right now with Blackman, Ewing, Mason, and Oakley. The Knicks have missed their last 4 shots. Chicago has missed on his last 5. Bulls go to the trap. They lead at 41-39. We're down to 2:45 remaining in the first half. You see the Knicks only 4 of 13 from the field, and Mason handling against the Chicago press.
Oakley did a nice job relieving the pressure. And there's Doc Rivers. He just came in for Starks.
Doc has 12 points. He's tied the game at 41. Michael Jordan has cooled off after the good start, and he drew the foul. Jordan complaining he felt that he got scratched again. He mentioned in playful fashion after the game on Sunday that, and he had, as you mentioned, only nice things to say about John Starks. He handled a tough day very well, but he said, I did get scratched 3 times.
Now, Oakley goes crazy on this response, and Patrick Ewing jumps in and deflects a possible technical foul by Charles's response.
All right, John Starks is back. Charles Oakley departing after collecting his 3rd foul. The Bulls take a 1-point lead. Jordan is 6 of 6 from the line, and he's gunning for his 20th point.
It's amazing how some people depicted Jordan as a GOAT, the GOAT of the game, and Jordan so graceful in his response to all of that.
Technical foul has been called. It's on Scott Williams. Well, apparently Scott, who has picked up more than his share of technicals throughout the season, had something to say and was hit with the tee.
Boy, it seemed to be private because I don't think anybody noticed except official Bill Oakes.
It was Oakes who laid the technical on Phil Jackson, and again the Knicks cannot take advantage. Blackman missed the technical earlier. Now Starks misses the tee. Apparently it's for the extracurricular action with Anthony Mason. A little shove.
Well, that's a tight call when you consider what happens under the basket game in and game out these days.
They have also had something to say to the official. Again, pressure. Rivers able to rip it by. Here's Starks putting the move on. The game is tied at 43.
Well, he blew by Michael Jordan.
Coming up on 2 minutes to go in the first half. 2 minutes. And the foul on Mason. Mason grabbing hold of Cartwright, not allowing Cartwright to cut along the baseline. So Cartwright will go to the line.
Moments ago, the last hoop for the Knicks. John Starks with the crossover dribble leaves Michael Jordan behind him.
Bill Cartwright, the one-time New York Knick, a 74% free throw shooter. Back in February, he was placed on the injured list. He missed 17 games with a sore back and sore knees. Here's Trent Tucker returning, and Scott Williams will sit down. A lot of shuffling being done here in the first half by Chicago Bulls coach Phil Jackson.
I want to see Darrell Walker, Marv.
All right. Take a look. He's right across the way to the right on the bench.
I want him on the floor. I mean, the guy is an ex-Knick and a spirited guy. He'd add something to the proceedings.
I thought we'd see him a bit more because of the pressing tactics. Mason handling against Pippen, and met by Jordan, able to penetrate across the midcourt line.
He took on 2 of the best in the NBA in defense.
Rivers drew the foul, hit by Jordan. That is the 2nd foul committed by Michael Jordan.
Did Anthony agree with the coach? From our upper deck trading card camera, here's a display by the man who thinks he can be a point guard in the NBA. And not too many people will argue with him. He took on Pippen, then Jordan, and succeeded.
Rivers had missed his last 2 at the line. He's now 3 out of 5 fast start offensively for Doc Rivers. 13 points in this first half. The Knicks 45, the Bulls 44. Marv Albert, John Andres, Al Troutwick, Walt Clyde Frazier from the Garden. Game 2 of the best of 7. Eastern Conference Final Series. Game 3 in Chicago coming up on Saturday afternoon. Game 4 next Monday afternoon. Knicks trying to make it 2-0 on the Bulls. Bulls hoping to tie the series at 1. Shot clock is down to 2. Here is Jordan. Yes. Michael Jordan gives the Bulls a 1-point lead.
A deceptive step away left Starks behind, and Jordan with a clear view of the basket.
Oh, nicely done. Ewing has 12. The Knicks by 1.
Pass by Starks was beautiful.
The chant of defense from this capacity crowd of the Garden.
You notice no picks for Jordan. He chooses to go one-on-one and do his thing. Nothing special is set up to help this guy who's impossible to guard one-on-one. The Knicks are being very selective with their double teams, though, Marv. Their philosophy is to guard him one-on-one outside the foul line, but when he starts his move to the basket, dribbling the ball, then to collapse and put 2 and 3 people on him. But let him go one-on-one early. If you guard him 2-on-1 outside, then he'll find the open man more quickly.
Foul was committed by Starks, his second. The Knicks have taken a 20-second timeout.
Jordan posting up. John Starks down low. John does a good job, makes Michael go outside, then he'll fake right, go left, fade back, and he's got a clear view.
Michael Jordan with 23 points. 23 of the Bulls' 47. He's taken 15 of the 32 Chicago shots. He's 7 of 15 from the floor and 8 for 8 from the foul line.
This game will be a tremendous test for him more than anyone on the floor, really, of his physical strength. He has to carry this team. He's the focal point. Pippen is terrific, done a good job, but this is the man. Patrick Ewing has a lot more help than Jordan does.
Chicago leads by 1, and again they go to pressure. Mason could not find anyone. They double up on Starks, and it was deflected out by the Bulls.
Big factor, though, for Jordan and both teams, really, is that they're going to be off now. The next game will not take place until Saturday. Lots of rest.
40 seconds left in the half. The discussion concerning how much room Mason will have in inbounding. Here's Mason. Oh, going right at Cartwright, and he drew the foul and took a shot in the nose, and a Bill Oates indicating a technical foul on Anthony Mason.
Well, he dazzles, absolutely dazzles Trent Tucker on this move. Leaves him behind. Goes to the rim, hangs on the rim ever so briefly.
Cartwright was called for the personal. Now, I don't know if they called the technical because, let's see. All right, here's the crossover move. And Mason throws a little elbow. I don't know if that was the reason for the technical, or perhaps he had something to say. We have not received an explanation, but the technical foul was called on Mason. Now Mason will go to the line after he was fouled by Cartwright.
Officials are not allowing anyone to be bad tonight, Marv. Scott Williams had a quick technical. Now Mason, if that was the case, that was a very little teeny-weeny elbow throw.
Now Cartwright sitting down. 34 seconds remaining in the first half. Bulls by 1. The Knicks and the Bulls are tied at 49. Rick Anthony has come on. Doc Rivers now guarding Michael Jordan. Anthony on Armstrong. That was a forced shot by Jordan. Knicks will hold for a final shot. 10 seconds in the half.
Anthony's got to advance the ball, which he doesn't do on that play.
Rivers on the recovery. So halftime here at the Garden, and the Knicks and the Bulls in game 2 of this best of 7 are tied at 49. Michael Jordan with 25 points on 7 of 16 from the field. We'll be back with our halftime in a moment. It is Chicago ball as we get underway in the third quarter. Armstrong and Jordan in the backcourt. Cartwright, Pippen, and Grant up front. Grant is playing with 3 fouls, and Oakley playing with 3. Shot clock at 6. Armstrong. Yes, B.J. Armstrong has been out of the offense. That is only his first field goal. And the Bulls lead by 2.
And his first shot after 16 minutes of play in the first half. Perhaps Phil Jackson was right with a 49-all first half. The first team to 100 just might win this game.
Here's Starks. Ewing with the tip. Patrick Ewing has 14 points, and he's tied the game at 51. Pippen with a nice fake.
Ewing gathering himself. He fell down on that play. Looked at the official. Got no sympathy. And Knicks wait for him to come down. Wisely do that.
Shot clock at 5. Smith. Ewing. Just did beat the 24. Both teams have played excellent defense. Shots are very hard to come by, as you may have noticed. Rivers on the recovery. Look out. Grant went flying.
Good team defense, Marv, means everybody plays tough defense on a team. And both these teams play excellent defense, which means they all are working at it.
And Oakley gets inside to give the Knicks a 53-51 lead. 7 points for Oakley.
Well, he used to beat up on Horace Grant, who played behind him in Chicago when they were teammates, and he seems to be continuing that tonight.
Grant turning around to shoot the jump shot. 7th rebound for Ewing. Ewing and Oakley each with 7. Rivers for 3. Yes.
And that's a rare play when Doc Rivers will come down and pop away as he comes over half court. That ball hardly touched the rim. Touched the net, rather. And it's time for the Bud dunk of the game. The Bulls in motion. Scottie Pippen gives it to the best of all. Michael Jordan with the Bud dunk of the game and the massage for Greg Anthony. Doc Rivers just came down over half court. He didn't wait to set up the offense. He became the offense with the long 3-point shot.
It's the biggest lead of the game for the Knicks. They've scored 7 unanswered, and for Doc, his second 3-pointer of the night. The Garden is rocking as the Knicks have taken a 56-51 lead. 2:40 gone by in the third. Shot clock at 5. Jordan. And last touch by Pippen.
You see, the big thing, aside from contesting Jordan's jump shot, the big thing that's happening here is that he cannot get in the middle. He can't get in to dunk that ball, draw fouls. He's not getting around people. And the Knicks, when he does put the ball on the floor, converge in the middle and are taking that away.
Well, the help provided by Ewing and Oakley and Smith has really hurt Jordan. Knicks keep it alive, and Jordan gets to it. Pippen alley-oops Grant. Good play by Starks to break it up. Ewing looking for the steal. Jordan. The Knicks 56, the Bulls 53. Patrick Ewing back in his gambling mode. He was successful on Sunday. Starks came off a pick. Nice setup for Smith.
Horace Grant, a non-factor in this game for the Bulls so far, not providing any internal strength.
Rivers off the steal and foul. Armstrong called for the foul.
Doc Rivers continues to add. And he steals that ball. He read what Pippen had in mind for B.J. Armstrong, who fouls Doc. Last time down court, John Starks driving to the basket, draws attention, gives it up to Charles Smith.
Doc Rivers once again instrumental in the spark being provided to the New York Knicks, who now lead 58-53. Doc is 5 of 7 from the line, and he has 18 points.
Knicks have really taken a fast break away from the Bulls' attack. They have scored only 8 points in that area. The Bulls, that is. The Knicks only 4 themselves on the fast break in. But that's what they say the playoffs are all about, half-court basketball.
The Knicks lead by 6. The Knicks with an 11-2 run.
Jordan trying to post up down low, didn't get the ball, still staying down there.
Armstrong, Bulls being forced into difficult shots. They're having a very tough time finding good shots.
Knicks are on the verge of getting a 10-point lead now for the first time this game. The fans sense it.
Illegal defense has been called for the first time.
Jordan with a lot to say to Charles Smith. Oakley stepping in. Oakley is quite friendly with his former teammate Michael Jordan.
Five minutes gone by, third quarter. Starks. John Starks with only his second field goal. But he is a street shooter, and the Knicks will be looking for Starks to catch fire. Here's Cartwright. Last touched by the Knicks.
Hey, those are the signs that have to drive Phil Jackson crazy when people like Cartwright underneath the basket miss a layup. That happened to Jordan the other day in the fourth quarter. He missed 2. That means the Knicks defense is scaring the Bulls.
The Knicks lead is now 9 off this 13-2 run. Jordan has been quiet following the outburst at the start. John Paxson is back on the floor. They double up on Pippen. Jordan battling his way, and the foul is called on Starks. Basket won't count. For John Starks, his third.
John doing his best to stay with Jordan. Bumps him a little bit here. Looks like Jordan gave off the left elbow, however. Meanwhile, that was followed by a long conversation between Pippen and Jordan. You'd think they'd know what each other was thinking. They wouldn't even have to talk, those two.
Paxson rubbing off the pick to find Grant. The tip by Jordan. Mentioned Grant not able to get involved. Picked up the early fouls. He's playing with 3. He's now 0 for 4 from the field.
They desperately need him to be successful, and it's starting to show on the scoreboard now.
The Knicks lead is 7. And a foul call. It's on Pippen. Charles Smith and Charles Oakley just went face to face in a very emotional conversation. Rivers foul. Again, Rivers will go to the line. A hold on Jordan. That is his third.
You mentioned Marv Oakley and Charles Smith, the two forwards meeting for an emotional meeting. I think it was all positive, though.
We've often, in our production meetings, had those kind of get-togethers.
Just don't pull my tie anymore.
Knicks 63, the Bulls 55. Just under 6 minutes remaining in the third. It is now Jordan and Paxson in the backcourt. Pippen, Grant, and Cartwright up front. Rivers guarding Jordan. Rivers doing an excellent job. Here's Grant off a screen. It's an unusual play to see a forward get that deep with a screen being set.
Yes, you're right about that. Jordan picked it out, though.
Knicks now lead 64-57. So Horace Grant finally scores. Ewing, got an extra step there. And was able to hit it. The Bulls are very upset. Talked about that the other day with Bill Cartwright, who claims that Patrick Ewing and Shaquille O'Neal was the other player he named, constantly getting away with the travel.
Well, he took the big step and started out, which was a walk, and Jordan cannot retain a consistent touch on the long jump shooting.
The Knicks lead is 9. Pippen knocked it away. Smith with the recovery. Smith for Oakley. Here's Smith. And Oakley hustles it down. What a play by Charles Oakley. His 10th rebound. Knicks on every loose ball. They have out-hustled the Bulls to this point. Shot clock at 5. Nice pass. Ewing finding Oakley. The Knicks open up at 11-point lead, and the Bulls will talk it over.
There's an unhappy coach. There's no defense for him. .11 lead now enjoyed by the Knicks. A lot of it due to our information from Dutch Boy in the paint. Those are rebounding numbers from the other day, but their scoring in this game is very high for the Knicks. And those rebounds are what the total was for the Knicks the other day, 28-48 in favor of the Knicks. They're killing the Bulls again on the boards. What a play by Charles Oakley, saving that ball headed for the out-of-bounds area. Doc Rivers holding that ball, setting things up. Waiting to move. He's got Jordan in front of him. A little delayed pick from Ewing. And Patrick Ewing, after some movement, finds Charles Oakley inside, and that really made Phil Jackson crazy. That was too easy for the Knicks from his viewpoint.
19-6 run by the Knicks. Anthony Mason is back on the floor. Rivers got a piece of it, and Mason was able to gobble it up. Knicks by 11. Their biggest lead of the night. 3 minutes, 45 seconds to go in the third. Knicks trying to make it 2-0 in this best of 7. The Bulls want to go back to Chicago. Tied at 1. Starks for 3. Yes! Well, John Starks is heating up. And the Knicks now lead 71-57. But the story here has been the Knicks defensive play. They have not allowed the Bulls good shots. Rivers called for the reach in. And Michael Jordan is having about as much trouble as I have ever seen him have in terms of finding decent shot opportunities.
He's getting no room either, Marv. That's the story. But John Starks, after one field goal in the first half, is coming on strong now. And boy, that's really going to deflate the Bulls if this continues.
Now Doc Rivers doing the job on Jordan. He has not allowed any good shots. Pippen was fouled. Mason called for his third. And Pippen will go to the line. Scottie Pippen is 3 out of 4 from the line. A technical foul has just been handed out. And double technical. Bill Cartwright and Charles Oakley both had a bit too much to say, and again it was Bill Oakes.
Well, he's the technical man. He's the man you got to avoid. I mean, you got to give Bill Oakes some special attention if you're a player, because he has indicated tonight he will have no patience with any kind of verbal responses. And that is Bill Oakes.
Here's Stacey King for Bill Cartwright, who once again has not done the job.
And Bill with 2 rebounds and 1 field goal in the game.
And Pippen misses on both. So the Knicks with a hot shooting here in the third as opposed to the Bulls with just under 3 minutes left. Third quarter. And the Knicks lead by 14. Starks. And Jordan looks to run. Knicks able to get back. Paxson spots up for 3. Grant pops it out. Jordan for 3. And back come the Knicks. It's a 3-on-2. Oakley misjudged on that pass. And King able to come up with it. Here's Pippen. It's the style the Bulls would love to play. Pippen hits and a foul. Ewing called for the foul, and Pippen will go to the line. The first time tonight that the Bulls have actually been able to run the floor on consecutive sequences.
Well, Ewing was there, so Pippen decided not to take him on, but he gave him the head fake. Did a beautiful job getting it up. Ewing goes for that fake and looks at Pippen with a lot of disdain, like, how could you make that shot? But Patrick left his feet, and he shouldn't have done that. He should just position himself, put the hands up, but he bought that fake of Pippen.
Foul on Ewing, his third. Now Paxson takes the seat. Scott Williams is back. Pippen missed his last 2, make it his last 3. Scottie Pippen is not a good free throw shooter. And tonight 3 of 7 from the line. Knicks 71, the Bulls 59. Bulls have had their problems at the line. Patrick Ewing with 18 points.
There are so many people on the Knicks hurting the Bulls. Ewing tuning in, tuning out on offense. He's always there on defense. The Bulls depending on 2 people exclusively, and there's one of them, Scottie Pippen. It's a beautiful move.
Pippen has 15. Greg Anthony has checked back in. Anthony and Starks in the backcourt. Ewing, Oakley, and Mason up front.
Tough for Greg to get anywhere, though. He dribbles the ball a lot. He's not losing it, but he's not getting anywhere with it.
Starks for Ewing. And that's a 24-second violation because Ewing did not hit the rim.
But the bubble gum popped out of his mouth, and he juggled it until he caught it, and it didn't hit the floor and went back in his mouth. And that's important, too, Marv.
Played the deflection just perfectly, didn't he? Pat Riley takes a timeout.
Knicks leading now 73-61, 1:26 left in the third quarter. Knicks are happy to announce that Game 4 on Monday in Chicago will be followed by a post-game show, a special playoff edition following our sports desk, usual sports desk.
That is if the Knicks should be up 3-0, which may be a very optimistic way of looking at things. Michael Jordan able to hit, and he was fouled.
As usual, the Bulls, when they are desperate, continue to go to Michael Jordan, who executes a spectacular move successfully and draws the foul.
Foul committed by Ewing, his 4th. And he'll sit down. Charles Smith will check in. Here's Orlando Blackman for Greg Anthony. So Blackman and Starks in the backcourt now. 1:11 to go in the third, and the Knicks with a 10-point lead.
What is going on with the foul shooting by the superstars of the Chicago Bulls? Pippen unsuccessful, now Jordan missing one.
Knicks now lead by 10. Bulls have missed the last 4 free throws. Shot clock running down. It's at 5. Jordan nearly picked it off. Shot clock at 2. Starks. Oh, what a shot! He just did beat the 24 with Jordan in his face. The Knicks by 13. 40 seconds left in the third. Scott Williams not able to connect on that post-up move.
Well, Michael Jordan said it the other day after John Starks' performance. He's turned his cockiness into confidence. And it's pouring forth now for John once again.
You know what I sense also? Michael Jordan losing confidence in his teammates. Smith. As much as Jordan dominated the offense early, he did pull back. But I could just sense from seeing so much of Jordan these past few years, he's giving the ball up, and the rest of the Bulls are not doing it, and he's getting down, which will mean that we will see him completely dominate the fourth quarter. That, I think, in his mind, is the only shot the Bulls will have right here. 7 seconds left in the third. The only other Bull, as you mentioned, who has been respectable is Scottie Pippen, who's actually played well. He's hit 7 of 10, 17 points. Phil Jackson with substitutions now. Tucker, Paxson, Armstrong come on for the last second shot opportunity.
I don't know when I've seen a less than spectacular front line of the Bulls, but still they're formidable and have had many terrific moments over their 2 championship seasons. But the front line is invisible tonight. Name a guy. Stacey King sitting there on the right. Nothing much. Horace Grant, nothing. Bill Cartwright, invisible. The nickname is sadly picked up here in New York on occasion. But none of the front line is really having a good evening tonight at all. But we do have another quarter left.
Knicks lead by 14. 7 seconds remaining in the third. Jordan puts the move on Anthony and goes all the way. The tip missed by Pippen. After 3, the Knicks 77 and the Bulls 63. The Chicago Bulls with only 14 points in the third quarter.
And look who's heating up now in the second half. These are the kind of shots opposing coaches like their opponents to take. But John Starks now, for the second game in a row, is making the crazy shots.
The Knicks outscoring the Bulls 28-14 in the third quarter to take command. The Knicks with their biggest lead of the game. It's John Starks now with 9 points. He's hit 4 out of 10 following the slow start. Doc Rivers, the unlikely high point man for the Knicks, with 21. Patrick Ewing has 18. Michael Jordan leading Chicago with 31, but he is 10 of 23 from the field, coming off the 10 for 27 on Sunday.
Boy, Marv, you go back to last summer when the Knicks made the big deal to bring Charles Smith and Doc Rivers here. Who would have thought at this point of this 92-93 season that Doc Rivers would be enjoying the position of prominence and importance he enjoys now for the New York Knicks? In a game like this, Game 2, Chicago Bulls, 2-time champions, it's Doc Rivers leading the way, not only in leadership with what he does with the ball, but what he's doing with his scoring here this evening.
On to the fourth quarter. The Knicks with a 77-63 lead on the Bulls. Marv Albert, John Andres, Al Troutwig, Walt Frazier from the Garden. The Bulls 7 for 19 in the third. The Knicks 10 of 17 from the floor. Pippen able to knock it away, but knocked it out of bounds. John, including the playoffs a year ago, the Bulls have now lost 5 straight to the Knicks here at Madison Square Garden.
And Michael Jordan's poor shooting has continued. Now 10 out of 23 from the field tonight.
Shot clock at 1, and that is a violation.
During that 5-game losing streak the Bulls bring here, Michael has been a 35% shooter. So the Knicks have really found the knack, which is hard work and team defense. When Michael gets around the basket, he's got a lot of people to beat, and he's been unsuccessful.
Jordan sitting it out here at the start of the fourth. A 24-second violation, only the 10th turnover committed by the Knicks. That is a low number. Nice fake. Scott Williams crunched by Charles Smith. And a stare from Scott Williams in the direction of Charles Smith. Smith called for the foul, his fourth.
Nice look by Trent Tucker. Fine assortment of moves leading to that freedom that Williams found for himself. And a heavy glare at Charles.
The awful foul shooting by the Bulls continues. They've missed their last 5 at the line.
That's disgraceful. I mean, Phil Jackson has to be dying.
This is not a good free throw shooting team. They're at the bottom of the league. And despite that, you think a team that does not shoot well at the line would have problems come playoff time. But they have not been a good foul shooting team the last couple of years, but not as bad as this season. Obviously did not hurt them the previous 2 years. Knicks have a 13-point lead. Minute gone by in the fourth. Blackman finding Oakley, and a loose ball foul has been called.
Blackman all by himself, very unhappy with the way the move turned out.
Williams on the foul. That is his second. Rivers and Blackman at the guards. Mason, Smith, and Oakley up front.
Smith trying to become Patrick Ewing, in close now, gets a good lead pass. Succeeds in drawing the foul. Charles always happy to play with his back to the basket down low. His role for the Knicks this year is small forward, but when given the opportunity to spell Ewing, he's done a good job.
And once again, it was Scott Williams called for the foul. Charles Smith to the line. He is 2 of 2 from the foul line. Overall, Knicks 17 for 23 from the line. Look at the Bulls, who have missed 5 of their last 6.
That's more than the foul shooting. Had they made them all, they'd still be behind by 3.
Not necessarily, Jim.
All the foul shots?
Well, you don't know what happened off rebounds or free throws.
No, no, just.
Well, I mean, you can't make a conclusion.
But they need more than foul shooting. It's not the only problem.
Right. But you don't know what happened. Have they hit some shots? Missed a couple others that they hit?
Could you please shut up?
Trying to get your attention, John. Minute and a half gone by in the fourth quarter. That's a 3-point attack. Trent Tucker with his second 3 of the game. And it cuts it to a 10-point Knick lead. Can you imagine someone tuning in at the moment you said, can you please shut up now?
Well, it's our last MSG presentation to stay off, so I want to leave with a flourish.
Timeout called by the Knicks with 10:16 remaining in the game.
Well, contributions from the bench always important, and tonight the Knicks are dominating once again in that department, as they did the other day. 20-8 in favor of the Knicks off the bench the other night, and tonight, much to my surprise, the Bulls are leading 12-10, Marv. But the big 5 for the Knicks are doing the heavy work against the Bulls tonight.
Knicks lead at 77-67. Charles Smith extends to a 12-point lead with 2 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter. B.J. Armstrong played on a switch by Charles Oakley. Michael Jordan still sitting it out. Joe Crawford with the whistle. And apparently the ball was deflected out. Crawford discussing it with Oakes. The official call has not been made. And a delay of game warning called on the Knicks. Apparently when that ball was deflected out, the Knicks kept it away from the Bulls.
I'm surprised to see Jordan on the bench at all at this point in the game.
Scott Williams just did beat the 24. The Knicks 79, the Bulls 69. Mason off the dribble. And he was fouled. Nice move by Mason, accelerating right by Pippen. Pippen reaching, call for his third. And Mason will go to the line. Mason is 3 out of 4 from the line. A 68% free throw shooter.
Well, this is the time where Pat Riley has his defense really kick in. He said the other day, we have great pride in our fourth quarter defense. And that is what he is going to stress to his team every chance he can to lift it up now. Let's not coast in here. Let's start all over again and dig in and contest everything.
The Knicks 80, the Bulls 69. It's been another typical Knick type ball game, a grind out effort. Armstrong for 3. Oakley with the rebound. Oakley made contact with Williams. Scott Williams took a shot. The left side of his left cheek. But he's all right. Blackman lost it. Went off his chest.
And finally, Phil Jackson yells to Michael, who pops out like a rookie to get back in this game.
Michael Jordan very anxious to get back pacing along the sideline.
I mean, that wasn't a superstar reaction to get back in the game. He was like a first-year player.
Here's Armstrong. Well, this time he hit from the left. He missed from the right. And he brings the Bulls within 9. BJ with only his second field goal. Game has hit a lull with 8.5 remaining in the fourth. Blackman for 3. And Purdue lost it off the head of Pippen, recovered by Williams. Here's Pippen. Starks is, let's see what the call is here. He was taken down, loose ball foul on Williams. 4 on Scott Williams. And for the Bulls, their 4th team foul. The Knicks have only 1.
John Starks so quick to the ball, draws the foul.
Michael Jordan is back. 25 first half points, 31 in all, but he has shot only 10 of 23. 8 minutes remaining of the game. Jordan guarding Rivers, now switches off to Starks. Here's Ewing. Nice fake on Purdue. Jordan with the save. Look out. Mason got it back. Ewing. It counts, and the foul. Number 5 committed by Williams.
Well, Oakley with one of his dramatic saves here as Jordan knocks the ball inbounds. Oakley sends it to a teammate who sends it to Patrick Ewing, who doesn't dribble the ball, goes right up and draws the foul after making the shot.
Well, Peter Vesey of USA Today and NBC Sports took a shot as Michael Jordan landed in his lap.
Pete will be very proud of that, Mark.
I think Pete had anything sarcastic to say to Michael as he made contact?
I'm sure it'll show up in a column in coming days.
A discontinuous is called. Oh, Pippen is upset. Oh, that's a technical. He's been thrown out. He threw the ball hard at Bill Oakes, and he's been ejected. Oh, now Jordan chasing Oakes. Phil Jackson could get hit with a second. Scottie Pippen has been tossed. Oh, that's an enormous move. And now Pippen is being kept away by his teammates.
That's going to be debated, Marv, over and over again. I feel that Bill Oakes has a very short fuse, and yet you can defend the fact that he was embarrassed by Pippen. He was. But he still has a short fuse, and I don't know if you do that in a game like this. There's going to be a lot said about that. That's really costly.
Well, he's had the quick trigger right throughout. He has handed out a number of technical fouls. Meanwhile, Starks missed the technical. The Knicks have missed on 3 technical foul shots. And as the Knicks inbound, Joe Crawford blows the whistle. And the officials trying to straighten things out. Scottie Pippen has been ejected, leads with 17 points. Joe Crawford is pointing to the clock. Apparently the substitutions were not properly announced. Now all is official. So the Knicks with a big break. Apparently there were 6 players on the court. That's why they had to straighten things out. 6 players momentarily. Here's Ewing. Loose ball foul. It's called on the Knicks. Mason picks it up. It's so unusual to see a Knick opposition player go off as Scottie Pippen did. Usually that is something that the Knicks are guilty of. As Michael Jordan is able to hit, and the Knicks now lead 83-73.
Pippen was arguing the call, the infraction that was called against him for mishandling the ball, and unfortunately for him, official Bill Oakes was right near him when he flipped the ball at him and got Oakes off balance and had the effect of embarrassing the official.
First he threatened, motioned as if he were going to throw the ball hard, and then he did. Starks, strong move by Starks, who was fouled, and a timeout has been called by the Bulls with 6:40 to go, 4th quarter. A moment ago we saw Scottie Pippen ejected. Not the first time that he's been tossed out in a playoff game against the Knicks back in '89 in a playoff battle in the Eastern semifinals. Scottie Pippen got involved in a fight with one-time Knick Kenny Walker, and they both were tossed. Scottie with a little left hand. Walker tried to come back with a left, and both thrown out. Darryl Garrettson in the midst of that one.
Well, our staff came prepared for a little Scottie Pippen extracurricular activities tonight. Scottie out of the game now because of his response to the official upon getting a call that he didn't like. The Bulls now down by 10, 6:40 left. More pressure on Michael Jordan.
In all, 6 technical fouls have been called tonight. The Bulls hit with 4. Phil Jackson, Scott Williams, Bill Cartwright, Scottie Pippen. Pippen, the technical and the ejection. And the Knicks assessed 2. Oakley and Mason called for tees.
Well, this is the exact score with approximately this time left in the game that the Knicks and Bulls were at on Sunday.
Knicks now lead 84-73. Time remaining 6 minutes and 40 seconds. John Starks hitting double figures. He now has 10 after the slow start.
And as fans remember, John had his 4 3-point shots in the 4th quarter. So there's lots to follow here with only 6:35 left to go.
Will Perdue is up front now with Scott Williams and Horace Grant. Michael Jordan, B.J. Armstrong in the backcourt. Scottie Pippen is through for the game. Here's Jordan. Deflected out by the Knicks as Doc Rivers lands in front of Knicks trainer Mike Saunders. Jordan is now 11 for 25, 33 points in all, but has not had a good one. In the second half, he has been stifled. Jordan changed his mind, and Rivers right there. Oh, Rivers comes up lame. He's hurt. He pulled something. He looked to be having a knee problem just moments ago, and he had a call for the timeout.
After another terrific defensive play. Well, moments ago, Michael Jordan going up for the shot, forced to give it up by the play of John Starks. And Rivers, you can see early in that move, after he succeeded in stealing the ball, he showed great pain.
Well, Doc will sit down. They will check him out. Greg Anthony replacing Doc Rivers. And we're told it is a leg cramp. If that's the case, that's very good news for the Knicks. He had similar leg cramps in the series against the Charlotte Hornets. 6 on the shot clock. Ewing. Jordan with the save. Bulls still very much alive. They're down by 11 with 5:40 remaining in the fourth quarter. What a look from Jordan, and Williams was fouled.
Williams did a Charles Oakley. He went for the defensive man instead of going up for the shot. Meanwhile, Greg Anthony looms very large for the Knicks now in this part of the game. He's got the job unless Rivers can shake that off. There's the pass inside. Williams concentrating on Mason as he goes up and draws the foul.
Mason was called for his 5th. Scott Williams now 3 out of 5 from the line. Doc Rivers trying to work through the leg cramps. The Knicks now lead 84-75. Pat Riley going with Anthony and Starks at the guards. Oakley, Mason, and Ewing up front.
Jordan loves it now. He loves guarding Anthony. You just know it. He wants that ball.
Plus he can gamble. They'll give Anthony the shot. He doubled up on Ewing. That time Patrick Ewing did not throw it out. He was double and triple team. Now Jordan beats Starks off the dribble. And a foul is called.
Finally.
Will Purdue hit from behind.
Finally a presence on the offensive boards. Purdue and Williams combining to create some havoc.
Anthony Mason with his 6th. So Mason leaves 8 points, 7 rebounds. Charles Smith returns. That a non-shooting foul. The Bulls over the limit. The next foul committed by the Knicks will put them over the limit. 5 minutes remaining in the game. Knicks trying to go 2 up in the series. Bulls hoping to tie it at 1. Here's Jordan exploding but not able to hit. And it's tipped home. Scott Williams with the tip. And the Bulls are within 7.
Their big men are taking over now. The Knicks need a new life on the boards from their front line.
Purdue jumps out. Try to trap Anthony. Again the double on Ewing. Oakley is fouled. Oakley will go to the line. Foul on Williams, number 6. So Grant raising his hand trying to get the call on him because he has only 3. Scott Williams fouling out. 12 points, 7 rebounds.
Phil Jackson figuring out who gets the call now. Got to be Stacey King. But what about Bill Cartwright?
That's the decision that he's mulling. Well, he's going small with John Paxson. He's going to go 3 guards. You know, as it turns out, a guy who has been deactivated actually on the injured list with a phantom injury would have helped in this series. Ed Neely, who they made the decision with Darryl Walker and Rodney McCray healthy to go with Walker, but McCray has given them nothing. And a guy like Neely can create havoc off the boards, but
Phil Jackson will leave himself open to a lot of criticism because John Paxson hasn't shown he has the touch at all, and the rebounding by the Bulls front line has been formidable, and now they are going with 2 big men instead of 3.
Knicks 86, the Bulls 77. Well, he's hoping that if one of the other guards would be able to catch fire, that'll force Pat Riley into making a move.
Doing a good job keeping Jordan out by half court, knocking time away.
But Jordan is able to penetrate, and he is walloped by Anthony, and that should be a flagrant. Yes, it is.
He's out, Marv.
Oh, he's been thrown out.
Bill Oakes at it again with a big call.
You know, this is an answer to the fact that I think that people in the league office were upset last year that John Starks was not ejected for the flagrant foul on Scottie Pippen, and they feel they should have made that move. And there's no hesitation right here. Now, normally it would be a flagrant foul, but that's a major move to throw Anthony
Look
out.
how high Anthony goes in the air.
Well, that's a bad foul. There's no question
Hard
about
to say. He was looking to play the ball because he was so far behind Jordan.
He was looking to hurt Michael Jordan. That was not playing the ball. But I don't know whether you throw the guy out. I mean, that was an obvious attempt to injure.
Behind. That's a no-win situation for Anthony. He can do nothing but cause harm to his opponent on a play like that.
So Anthony sits down, and apparently Doc Rivers is all right. He's back after departing because of the leg cramps. Purdue rebounded by Ewing.
Meanwhile, Doc Rivers, limping off the court moments ago, is feeling it again.
I think he's struggling too. Knicks lead 86-78.
Yes, he is limping slightly.
Well, the other option is Hubert Davis, who has not played at all. Last touch by the Knicks. And the Bulls take a timeout with 3:41 remaining in the fourth quarter. The Knicks lead by 8.
Well, the Bulls on the move moments ago. Michael Jordan going in for the basket, beats his man, but Greg Anthony from behind clobbers Jordan. That was ruled a flagrant foul. Penalty 2, which means automatic ejection and a fine. Look who's out of the game now. Pippen was ejected for arguing a call. Scott Williams is fouled out. Greg Anthony gone, and Anthony Mason fouled out. This game has turned rough.
3:41 remaining fourth quarter. The Knicks 86, the Bulls 78. Phil Jackson going with only 2 big men, Purdue, along with Grant and the 3 guards. Shot clock at 6. They've denied Jordan the ball. Armstrong got it off. He hits, and the foul. An enormous shot by B.J. Armstrong. Rivers called for the foul, his second, and Armstrong will go to the line.
Certainly looked like he shuffled his feet many times with the many fakes that he presented to Doc Rivers. But he's able to get that shot up and in at a most dramatic time, as you say, Marv.
86% free throw shooter on the line for the first time. 3-point play. The Knicks now lead 86-81. Going with a hobbling Doc Rivers. The Bulls with a 10-3 run. Starks looking for the screen. Smith stripped by Jordan.
Amazing play by Jordan, who was solidly behind Charles and still stole it.
Here is Jordan. The Bulls are within 3, and the Knicks call for time with 2:46 remaining in the fourth quarter. 12-3 run one for Chicago, and it is now Michael Jordan time.
2:46 left. The Bulls have crept to within 3 now without Scottie Pippen in attendance. Take a look from our upper deck trading card camera. B.J. Armstrong going one-on-one, fakes and fakes and fakes, and finally gets a shot up and in. And that began what became a three-point play. Now, Charles Smith at 6'10", taking Jordan down low, backing him in. How does Jordan steal the ball? 3 years now, Jordan has led the NBA in steals, and that was a gigantic one. And look what he followed it with.
And the Bulls have outscored the Knicks 20-9. Here in the fourth quarter, the Knicks have not scored a field goal in almost 5 minutes. On this fourth, 2:35 remaining. Ewing, yes, and it counts. A big bucket for Patrick Ewing, who was fouled by Will Perdue.
Oh, the timing of this pass and the delivery by Starks is so on target. That's a function of guys playing together so long now, and Starks and Ewing really have it together on this side of the court.
Three-point play for Ewing, and the Knicks lead 89-83. Knicks have 2 timeouts remaining. Bulls have 2 and a 20. Bulls remaining with the small lineup. They go with 3 guards. Starks continues to do a job against Jordan. They deny him the ball. Now Jordan gets to it. 5 on the 24. Jordan. Oh, what a pass. And Grant threw it out. Paxson for 3. John Paxson hits from downtown. It's a 3-point Knick lead.
How smart does Phil Jackson feel now? Paxson coming through.
Just under 2 minutes remaining in the fourth. Ewing, another tough shot for Patrick Ewing. The Knicks 91 and the Bulls 86. Ewing has 26. 1:45 remaining in the fourth. Here's Jordan finding Perdue, rejected by Ewing.
Big moments in the career of Patrick Ewing.
Again, Smith coughed it up, and a foul is called on Rivers. Charles Smith very unsure with the basketball. Not the man that you want handling the ball against the Bulls when in desperation they are looking to script.
Jordan denied at the baseline, making Starks making him give it up. And Will Perdue, a 7-footer, is sent home unhappy by that block by Ewing. And Charles Smith with the ball, wrestled free by Michael Jordan.
John Paxson to the line. He is an 85% free throw shooter, but did not go to the line much during the regular season. Now Perdue is replaced by Cartwright. The Knick lead is now 4. Charles Smith will sit down. Rolando Blackman will come on. The Knicks led by as many as 14.
I'll tell you, Marv, it'll be tough for Perdue to get time anymore in this series. He's let the Bulls down now for 2 straight games.
The Knick lead is 3. Patrick Ewing with a couple of huge field goals. A 3-point play, then the jump shot a moment ago. They double up on Ewing, and the pass saved by Rivers. Recovered by Oakley. Here's Ewing. And oh, look out! Cartwright submarined and hurt. Bill Cartwright accidentally taken down by Oakley. They were both going for the ball. Looked like Bill landed on his shoulder. And the Bulls trainer Chip Schaefer out to take a look. And apparently he's all right. What a spill.
Well, Bill Cartwright now going up in the air to play some defense.
Whoa.
Undercut by Charles Oakley. Big man of that size, shaken up greatly on a play like that.
If he is all right, he's very fortunate. Bill Cartwright, a player who over the years has been involved in a number of injuries, usually at his expense. He's one of these players, similar to his coach Phil Jackson, who would hurt his own teammates during practice sessions. because of his awkward moves, he would get in the way of people, and has over the years caused a number of injuries. And this time he's okay.
I remember in an exhibition game against Houston a couple of years ago, Bill clobbered Olajuwon, kept him out for a long time.
And Cartwright all right to go to the line. Now Bill Cartwright, throughout most of his career, was a solid free throw shooter, but in recent years has had problems at the line because he has not gone to the line that much. He's 1 for 3 tonight. And misses both. Crucial free throws missed by Cartwright. And the Knicks lead remains at 3. We're down to 50 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Starks. Yes! What a move by Starks, who was able to sky to the basket. The Bulls call for time. John Starks with the move of the night to give the Knicks a 5-point lead with 47 seconds remaining in the fourth. Here it is.
B.J. Armstrong expects help now. He's looking around. He gets picked off. No help comes, and Starks goes. Oh, so big. And look who was at the top. None other than Michael Jordan. And he couldn't do anything about it. What a spectacular move. That's as Jordan-like, Marv, as any other player in the NBA can get.
John Starks started slowly, did not have a productive first half offensively, although he continues to do an excellent job defensively when matched against Michael Jordan. Only 1 for 5 from the field in the first half. He now has 12 points. He has hit 4 of his last 6.
How about Michael Jordan in his gracious response the other day to questions about John Starks after the game, saying, I didn't follow him in the CBA. I didn't know about him in college, but I know about him now.
So we're down to 47 and 3/10 of a second. When we resume, it will be Chicago ball, and they are down by 5. This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA. Crowd reacting to the replay that is shown above on Garden Vision. Chicago Bulls players looking up. They were not as tantalized by watching it as this crowd of 19,000. The Knicks seeking to make it a 2-0 lead in the best of 7 as the series shifts to Chicago Stadium, beginning with the game on Saturday afternoon. That'll be game 3, game 4 in Chicago next Monday afternoon.
Jordan wants it himself now.
Starks poked it away. Starks stepped out of bounds. But another brilliant play by John Starks, who in the second half has once again outplayed Michael Jordan.
What effort, what a play. Not only does he do it at the offensive end, but Starks now comes down and faces Michael himself.
Here's Jordan for 3. Rebounded by Jordan. Jordan missed on the drive, and a foul called by Joe Crawford against the Knicks. It's called on Rivers. Both teams are over the limit. So the Bulls will go to the line. And what hurts about that foul is the clock is stopped, gives the Bulls an opportunity to trim that lead down to 3. But again, it's Cartwright, who missed 2 just a moment ago. The Knicks 93, the Bulls 89.
Bulls will be forced into a fouling situation now with the clock down so low.
So Cartwright hits on both. The Knicks with a 3-point lead. Off the pressure. The pass is thrown away.
Pat Riley's got to be kicking himself now, allowing Charles Oakley to handle the ball.
And Rolando Blackman was shaken up, diving for that ball, but it goes back to Chicago. The Bulls have 1 timeout left. The Knicks have 2 remaining. 23 seconds to go. Chicago trailing by 3. And here's Jordan going for the 2 points. Cartwright. That could have been a 3-point opportunity. Rivers called for the foul. Is 4th, and Cartwright will go to the line.
But despite Michael Jordan's difficulty in field goal percentage shooting, he's still able to penetrate time and again and get his teammates good shots in close.
Correction, that was number 5 on Rivers. Cartwright 3 of 6 from the line. So Bill Cartwright, who missed 2 important free throws earlier, now has hit 3 in a row. The Knicks 93 and the Bulls 91. 15 and 3/10 seconds remaining. 4th quarter. Rebounded by Oakley. And a foul call.
That could be a break for the Bulls.
Horace Grant called for the foul. Yes, you look at the Knicks squad on the floor right now, and if you were to choose who you would like to foul, it would be Charles Oakley.
And without seconds ticking off the clock, if he wasn't fouled, that wasn't an intentional foul, but I'm sure Phil Jackson ordered it in his very deep psychological thinking.
Charles, though, has improved his free throw shooting. He's 3 for 4 today, 72% during the regular season. Down to 12 and 7/10 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter.
How ironic. Charles Oakley and Bill Cartwright, both of whom were traded by the respective teams here tonight, are here at the finish determining the outcome.
And the Knicks now lead by 3.
It's been a 5-year spell for both players on each team.
Clutch foul shooting by Charles Oakley. The Knicks 95 and the Bulls 91. Chicago takes a timeout.
Well, 12 and 7/10 seconds left. The Knicks would like to see a lot fewer seconds because this thing is taking a long time to wind down. But Charles Oakley in a pressure-packed moment now, and he would be the man the Bulls would select to go to the line. Find success on shot number 1. Charles getting a lot of bench support as well on that shot. Phil Jackson doing his best with his staring, but it didn't work as Charles canned 2 for 2 and giving the Knicks a little more breathing room, but it's never enough with Superman on the court wearing number 23.
And the 2-time defending champion Chicago Bulls now in a desperate situation with 12 and 7/10 seconds remaining. 4th quarter. They do not have any timeouts left. Purdue pops it in. Here's Jordan for 3. Rebound Oakley, and he is fouled. Charles Oakley with, I would have to say, for a rare time skying for that rebound. He went up against Purdue. Not that Will Purdue is a leaper, but you don't see Charles usually get his rebounds by jumping.
Yes, those hands up, it looked like around the rim, and as we know, most rebounding is done below the rim, particularly by Charles. But you're right, Marv, he was up there.
Michael Jordan's number is 12 for 31. Well, he faced the Heat in the Chicago media, which is incredible. But he took a pounding. Can you imagine what he will be reading tomorrow?
Well, he was so gracious here the other day, and one of the writers out there, one of the more aggressive guys, referred to Michael now becoming a good loser, which is unbelievable.
And this series is far from over. The Knicks now lead 96-91. Final seconds. Here's Jordan for 3. Oh, an air ball. Perhaps a symbolic ending for the Bulls. The Knicks have made it 2 out of 2 against the Chicago Bulls. A 96-91 victory. Game 3 in Chicago on Saturday afternoon. Another dramatic win by the New York Knicks. And John, I have to say for the MSG crew, it is the final telecast. Everything shifting over to the network. NBC will be handling the rest of the telecast. And I know I speak for you in thanking the entire production group at MSG Network for another terrific year. Our executive producer, Mike McCarthy, the electronic wizard, handling the producing once again in superb fashion. Howie Singer, along with our crack director, Bob Lewis, statistician Eric Merlis, most of the way. And John, I've enjoyed most of the season working alongside you and Al and Walt. But this is it for MSG Network, except for the post-game wrap-up shows presented by the MSG Sports Desk. Al will be hosting, and I know you will be drawing the nod once again in the, is it the losers locker room that we'll be looking forward to checking you out?
Soon to be determined, Marv, but I'll be happy to be anywhere as long as the Knicks keep dribbling that ball.
So the Knicks over the Bulls, 96-91. They lead the best of 7, 2 games to nothing. And we'll be back with our post game right after these messages.
'98-90 in game 1, 96-91 in game 2. Both games to the Knicks, and remarkably similar scores down the stretch of this game. How remarkable it was, some of the things that were played out. Scottie Pippen ejected with over 7 minutes to go. Then Greg Anthony a few minutes later for a level 2 flagrant foul against Michael Jordan. Anthony Mason fouling out, Doc Rivers getting a leg cramp, and the officials very much involved from the start of this basketball game. Down the stretch, it became a battle of free throws. Bill Cartwright for the Chicago Bulls, he made a couple of key misses. Charles Oakley for the New York Knicks, atoning for the turnover that almost cost the Knicks a game. This is how Charles Oakley undercut Bill Cartwright. Cartwright shook off the cobwebs and went to the free throw line and promptly missed them both. After that, John Starks delivered one of the most spectacular plays of the season. He spotted an opening on the baseline, and with Michael Jordan and Horace Grant waiting for him, he slammed it in. That made the score 93-88, and it was the last field goal scored in this game. The rest of the way, it was free throws. Charles Smith hugging Anthony Mason. This was a very big, obviously, Knick victory. Doc Rivers joining me here. Doc, go ahead. Just tell me what you think.
It was great. I mean, that dunk by John, I saw him going down the baseline. I saw Horace Grant rotating. I'm thinking there's no way he's going to make it. I'm thinking he's going to get fouled or a charge. And I see him elevate and elevate. It was tremendous.
There were some strange things. Knicks built up a 14-point lead. Phil Jackson holds Michael Jordan out for the first 4 minutes of the fourth quarter. And then something happened. Chicago turned up the squeeze on you guys. You went down with a leg cramp, and the game changed, and suddenly Chicago was back in it. What allowed that to happen?
Well, we stopped attacking. We attacked all 3 quarters. Their pressure didn't bother us until the end because we wasn't aggressive. And if we stay aggressive, we can handle their pressure. If we don't, it's going to get to us.
Doc, how bad were you hurting when you came back into the game?
I was hurting pretty bad. It's just, you know, you can't control them. I had cramps in both thighs and both legs, and I just told Coach to put me out there. When they cramped up, we'll call a timeout and let them stretch them out, but I wanted to stay out on the court.
Is your health coverage running out?
Yeah, it is. Insurance people don't like me very well.
What were some of the key moments in this game and key performances for you?
Oh, I just thought, every time they tried to make a run in the third quarter, somebody else different stepped up. Obviously, John Starks' big shot. I thought Patrick Ewing's three-point play or layup towards the end was a huge play for us.
And, once again, the Knicks have proven, John Starks especially, that what happened to Michael Jordan in game 1 was no fluke. He had 11 second-half points, took some big shots in the closing seconds, missed them all, and again, he walks off shaking his head.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he's a great player, obviously, but we got guys with huge heart, and obviously we can't match his talent, but hopefully we can keep matching his heart.
Well, Doc, we came on the air tonight with our pregame show with a long feature saluting your bumps and bruises and courageous play, and you give us another chapter tonight. Thanks very much.
Oh, thank you.